Hello and welcome back to the Delta Analysis video. Today's Delta Escavalier, which is a pure fairy type, and that's a very good typing. One of the, if not the best typing in the game, and only has two weaknesses, being poison and steel, um, and only three types that resist you offensively, which are poison, steel, and fire, which means it's just good offensively and defensively. Dragon immunity is always good. Many resistances viable, like important ones like fighting, dark. Fairy is a great typing. Looking at the stats, defensively is pretty good. 70 HP is a little low, but well, a little low. 105 defenses are just really good. 135 attacks also really good. 60 special attacks, it's not really relevant, but it's there. And 20 speed is bad, but also good. So yeah. In Trick Room, it's incredibly good. Outside of Trick Room, you're going to be out under speeding literally everything except like 5 bombs. Um, so yeah, looking at its abilities, it gets heat proof, which gives you a fire resistance, which is could be very good. It makes you like a possible like fire resist, like what are scary fire types like Victini, like Infernape, like things like that. Well, some of them do get like poison or steel coverage, but their stabs won't hurt as much, I guess. Um, and you can like defensive or something. A Sweet Veil, I honestly couldn't tell you what it did. It's probably not viable because I didn't double check what it did. Escavalier. I think it's something with status. Uh, Sweet Veil prevents you can't fall asleep, which could be good. It could be good that you can't fall asleep, but generally speaking, Heatproof and Simple are a lot better. Speaking of Simple, Simple is broken. Um, it gets Simple, which is a good ability. It doubles the stat changes you get, both positive and negative. Um, so yeah, if you have setup, it's gonna be not. I'm not like I'd say more than double. It's good. Like it's so much better. It's insanely good. Um, So yeah, simple is stupid if you can abuse it, and this thing can abuse it. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Uh, Utility moves get screens, which is good, but it's not really gonna fill the supportive role. It gets Trick Room. Remember what it had 20 speed? Yeah, it can set up Trick Room for itself. This is very good. Heal Bell, you can cure status, I guess. Slack off, you can heal, I guess. Slack off is really good actually. So like, it's good to have reliable recovery. Knockoff, always good to be able to get rid of items. And wish, if you want to support your team with this thing, I guess you could. I wouldn't, but I guess you could. Um, the first set, bulky offensive set, very good set in my opinion. You can run heatproof, you can run simple. It just depends on what you want. If you want simple, then you run simple, and then you also don't run superpower like it says there. If you run simple, you run brick break instead, or cross chop if you want to risk the misses. But heatproof is otherwise a great substitute for simple if you don't really care for it. Play rough, knock off, slack off. There's like general moves. Play rough, stab, knock off gets rid of items, which is good, and slack off recovery, which is good on bulky offense. Superpower is a fighting coverage that helps with the steel types that you don't really like to deal with, and other options you see send headbutt, which helps with the poison types, and rock slide that helps with the fire types. Wild charge helps with bulky water types. Iron helps other fairy types. Brick break to a substitute for superpower if you have simple, because you don't want to double drops on your attack and defense. Also, any utility moves you can put on this, and also the setup move I will talk about in a bit, which should not come as much of a surprise, but all right. Um, this thing can just like function as like a defensive pivot on like fighting types, dark types, dragon types, and just it can slack off if it needs to. It's got good defenses, so that's not really something to worry about too much. Um, like something like Infernape, you kind of wall with Heatproof, except that it has Gunk Shot, which run Cabia or something. Um, so I think it's a good set bulky offense, but it's definitely not the best set because the best set is by far the Trick Room Sweeper set because it does get Swords Dance. with simple, which means in one turn you can get +4 attack. And you set a trick room for yourself, which means you outspeed everything. So at +4 attack, outspeeding everything, as you saw with the Delta Crustle cake, is really good. The difference between cake and this thing has 135 attack. That's a very big difference. um, so yeah, this thing actually basically doesn't. Basically everything dies to this thing at +4. Uh, play rough is insanely strong, and then whatever the play rough resisted, if it's a steel type, you run brick break. If it's a fire type, you run rock slide. Maybe even just brick break because it's gonna be really strong. If it's a poison type, you run Zen headbutt. If it's something, it doesn't. If it's something like I don't know, don't get drawing, which is annoying, but you just get enough. You get. It really doesn't matter what you run. Like one coverage move should be enough to cover basically everything neutrally, and then you just break through everything, and things will die. And that's basically the idea. The main downside is that you do require 2 turns to set up. You do have good bulk, and to be yeah, you should have decent opportunities to set up with your good typing and your good defenses, and being able to invest heavily in defenses because you don't want your speed. Um, it's a very good Pokemon. It's a very scary Pokemon, and it can easily clean teams very well. As well, I don't really cover item, but like in Insurgence, there's an item that increases the duration of Trick Room. That on this thing is actually stupid. Um, I already kind of nerfed it because I gave it one less turn, which is not a big difference, but it can change everything. Um, it's still really stupid good. So yeah. Um, that's basically everything. But I was thinking, looking at the move pool, and I saw this, and I was like, this is not viable. I'm not putting it in the video. And then I was like, it's kind of viable. So yeah, fine. It's not unviable. The goal mindset. Um, it's okay, I guess. Like you can boost fast enough that you could just don't take much damage from super effective special moves, and you can just fully invest in Fist Death or something, and then just out boost everything to the point where you can break through them even if they resisted with your 60 base special attack. You do get some coverage. Psychic helps the poison type. Blizzard is just strong in general. An energy ball is like I don't know why would you run it. Dazzling Gleam, like unless they hit something that Dazzling Gleam doesn't hit neutrally or super effectively neutral, then yeah, I don't know. I guess Psychic is the best option because of poison types, but you cannot touch steel types. And that's but like then you like relying on being able to break through the steel types. I'm not sure how heavy this thing is, but something is like a heavy slam probably won't do much. A gyro ball probably won't do much. Like Iron Head probably will, and that's like the main thing that can break through you from steel types. I hate to admit that this set is not unfireable. But yeah, you generally don't really want to run this. You generally speaking want to run the Trick Room Sword Sense set because it's a lot stronger and has way better coverage. But it's usable, so to some degree. And if you want to have fun, like why not run it? Go for it. Yeah, that's Delta Escavalier. It's a really good fairy type, really good trick room sweeper. Can set it up for itself and the rest of the team. Can you abuse it very well with simple sword dance because simple is incredibly broken. Um, and yeah, it's just really good. And I don't even know what it's supposed to be. It looks like an ice cream. I'm not sure. Um, but also looks like candy cane. I don't know what this thing is supposed to be. It's really confusing. But yeah, see y'all next time when I don't know what's next. Let's find out. Next is Among Us. Among Us is very cool. Among Us is very cool. So yeah, see y'all then. Goodbye.